when I talk about opening. So
Yeah.
you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, I think if we played, I would. I have a question for you. If we played, are they into it right now?
they just started.
Oh no, they're into it. I'll ask you later. Remind me.
Okay.
What is this opening from boxbox? Do you know it?
It's the Caro-Kann defense, it's called. And the point is you put your pawn in c6 to defend your pawn d5. So if white were to take, you would take back with the pawn and control the center. And we can actually listen into boxbox because I think he's prepared specifically for this match.
It's all coming together. Yes, this lesson with Levy is paying off. Bishop comes out. Boom, boom. Oh my god, this is the first time an amount of prep has done something. I feel like this was also in the prep. Am I trading it off? Or am I just trading it off
What's
here?
the right answer here?
He should take it because he doesn't want to ruin his pawn structure.
Ah, crap,
Yeah,
I can't
you
remember.
just lose your pawn
Am I
to
trading?
e-file.
Yeah.
I do remember. I'm trading it off.
And now the queen's out pretty early.
And that's okay for white to have the queen out because it's a very close position, won't be attacked. But boxbox is a pretty ideal formation with his pawns.
Okay. And then after this, the prep ends, and then we just play as solid as we
Well,
can.
it's good to know that he understands that what you have to remember is over, and now you just play chess.
Right. So he's cognizant of where the opening theory goes, and he's like, I kind of think this is familiar, but my preparation is done with, and now let's just go. It's a very important step to take, and I think that's what's helped him improve as a chess player.
Now we look to castle. The Caro-Kann is very closed off, so there's a lot of room for mistakes. I have to play this clean.
And is the Caro-Kann the one he plays because you're able to play it consistently regardless of the other opening? Is that that's why he likes it?
So the Caro-Kann is in response to e4, and he plays it because it allows you to fight for the center pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see here, now he needs to bring his knight out because otherwise he loses bishop. And what's funny about this is I had a lesson with Fusli where we talked about this exact position. It was an off-stream lesson, but we talked about this exact idea.
Yeah, there's literally only one
Wait a
good response
second.
here.
Right.
This isn't what I remember prepping for.
He's going to find it.
Oh no. The line I prepped for was different from this, I think. I should have thought about that move more.
He's highlighted both, but he only is looking at the top one. So I think it was more just a cursory thing for chat that he's highlighting D7.
I think he just has where his... Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a blunder.
Oh, no. He didn't bring it to D7.
And I think it's a scenario where, like, you highlight it, you understand that the knight can move there, but you don't seriously consider it because you know that generally C6 is where a good knight goes.
Right. And that's the problem is when you rely too much on your memory and you're like, oh, he's just saying, oh, my knight's supposed to go there, but this is not the right position. And you continue doing what you've been told, but unfortunately it's the wrong time. Yeah, if we just go back here, after the check, he was supposed to go knight to d7 and protect his bishop.
Yeah, I would not feel good about my position now, going against the favorite and also being down a piece in how many moves? This is 8 moves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good for game one, but I don't know. How do you play when you're down this early? What do you do now?
So actually, Hikaru and I were talking about this earlier because Hikaru was playing a match against Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, and he was winning by 1 game, and then he lost a game, but he lost it so badly that he just was like, I played one of the worst games I'll play, and you forget about it. So you don't kind of eat yourself up the way you would if you're outplayed by your opponent.
Okay. So you just speed run through the game, or you just you try, but you don't exert all your mental force into a game that you just kind of had a dumb mistake on early?
Yeah, I always believe you should keep playing, especially in a time control like this. And it's not like Voyboy, he's a great player, but he's not finding every single last perfect move to ice the game. So there's still a possibility for mistake. But yeah, I think you ultimately have to go in, all right, I'm in a tough spot. Let me try to make the most of my chances, but let's really get mentally ready for the next game and conserve that kind of mental energy. And well, we have Voyboy here. Let's hear his thoughts because I'm sure he's not thrilled to win in this manner. It doesn't feel great when you kind of are the recipient of a blunder.
Mm-hmm. I go bishop here, though. If pawn pushed, then his castle's ruined. And I could offer the trade here. And I develop my piece in any case. If he castles, then I could takes. That's not bad, I think. Takes away some of his defensive pieces, too. Let's try that. Oh, fuck. I thought I could change the diamond. Boxbox got an angry face. I wanted something happy. Why doesn't it just pop up a settings thing?
He does seem focused on the game at hand, Hess.
Yep.
I don't want to forfeit the match by changing my flair, but I really want to see what... I really want to make it like a smiley face or something. I don't know if he'll see it, though, if I do it.
This
Probably
is
not worth the risk right now.
Insanely analytical
Maybe
idea.
between games,
I do like this move from boxbox, though.
Yeah. He's opening a potential attack on the queen.
It's the same thing I was thinking of if he now takes, because he was talking about taking with bishop. If you take with your knight, then you get a little bit of tempo as black.
Yep.
That's his type.
You attack the queen, and behind the queen, that pawn on c2.
Okay, so here, just go queen back. If he castles, it's okay. Could also go here takes. If queen takes, then I just trade and I'm winning. If knight takes, then
I think he's seeing the idea of it.
I go here check. Rook would have to block, and then I could take here. If rook takes here,
so one of the best things about Voyboy is he really is thinking about like every possibility.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no way he can see every single last move and the response to every move, but he does a really good job of just like saying what are the possibilities here, what do I have to avoid, and he eventually came to the decision to take this knight with his bishop.
What's interesting is I feel like everything he's thinking about is an offensive move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've heard him even say once, maybe I should consider castling. I think he understands that like it's his pressure to play because he has every piece moved up, and he can go for, some eventual mate or just attack on the black side.
Yeah, he is up a piece, but you're raising a kind of a good point here that when you're up a piece, you may get complacent. You're like, oh, I'm already up material. I don't need to do anything. But then your opponent strikes back, and it can be problematic. He's saying, I'm going to keep up the pressure so that I don't even let boxbox back into the game.
Yeah, and this is literally he talked us through what he's now walking us through, which is crazy. He said every single thing that's going to happen and what he'll do to respond to it. And so he's taken I think 5 seconds off the clock to make all those moves that boxbox is taking about 3 minutes to do.
Yeah, I think that really shows Voyboy's experience because he played chess as a child and he played in some competitive tournaments. So,
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, with that kind of background, I think he feels more confident, whereas Albert's rating is 1,300. You see boxbox 1,311. He has gotten quite good, but he's not always confident in his choices. He's like second-guessing himself, whereas Voyboy, now there are moments where maybe he's a little too confident, which, I'm going to go for this idea, and then, oh, shoot, I should have seen that my opponent has this response.
Yeah.
So I think that's where experience really pays off.
Yeah, I mean, he took a minute to make that move. I think Voyboy already decided his response would be to take on b7. He might be considering other things now because he can see the board, but I think that's true. It's a good point. Confidence is what I lack the most. I think.
Wait, you lack confidence?
In chess, dare I say, yes, Robert. I think all the newer players who just started competing, we lack confidence in what our move's supposed to be and what's right or wrong.
I think that's true. I think that's very true. And it's easy to get down on yourself. Like you miss a move and you're like, oh, how could I miss that? And part of it's that all the information is in front of you. Even if you're not, nobody is going to find all the right moves, but it is there. There's nothing hidden, right? There's no pawn in your back pocket that you can throw onto the board. So I think that's part of what frustrates people. But I also think that, I mean, I'm saying this to you as well, even though we're equals as commentators, but I think that as a newer player, that it's very important not to just like get too down on yourself and think, oh, like, how could I make that mistake? And I think actually boxbox in particular is great at analyzing his games, even when he loses, and he's still in high spirits because he is enjoying the learning process without being too down on himself when he blunders.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think at our levels, that's kind of like a similar. We get that for sure.
Right. And okay, now he took on d7 because this knight on d4 is hitting this rook on c6. So let me ask you, how would you try to salvage this game if you were boxbox?
Oh, yeah, great. If I'm boxbox in the scenario, I'm thinking this queen's not in the best spot. Let's get her. Let's keep her in this position and limit the places she can go. And I think boxbox sees that idea. So literally blocked the queen to being able to do one move.
That's right.
And then from there, you can get some sort of continued pressure on her.
And let's tune into boxbox to hear his thoughts, because now he actually has a pretty decent chance to trap that queen.
I go here. Can he escape? I don't think he can escape. Oh my god. I think I got his queen.
This is the most ASMR sigh I've ever heard in my life. I think that's a problem. I think that happens on both sides. The B file is so tempting.
Let's assume he goes here.
And can't screw you.
Oh no. He then goes here.
He really wants to trap that queen. He has the right idea.
Yeah, I don't think he can get it, and that's not my intelligence talking. That's just me looking at this chart.
I didn't fully get his queen.
Which does not have him like guaranteed getting a queen, or else I'm assuming the black would be much more favorable, right?
Right. If that queen were to be trapped, then the evaluation score would be heavily in black's favor, whereas now it's about level.
Feels like there must be a way.
He's working now. The thing is that he has to realize, Ludwig, the queen is trapped and stuck there. So even if the queen goes to a8, it's not getting out in the near future. So he can castle. He can bring his king to safety to help bring the rook into the game to then go and try to trap the queen.
Yeah, there's still an advantage even if you don't get everything.
Right.
Crap, I don't think there is one.
But the good news for him is that knight c8 and castling are the two main moves for black here. And both of them are good moves.
Okay, not sure if you're on a call with him, but he immediately goes for a castle.
Nope. Only person I'm going to call with is you.
Is there really no way to finish this off?
Flattered.
Knight goes here. If only I could go here. But I can't drive that knight off. There's got to be a way to finish off this queen. He goes here. I'm low on time.
Yeah, hopefully he realizes the time aspect and that he...
But then, if my knight moves, he can just trade one for one with my queen.
All the resources into figuring out if there even is a tactic.
There's no way to finish it off.
But he clearly has the right idea. Like he's ready to pounce on that queen. He just needs to put it all together.
Wait, actually, maybe there is.
Oh. I mean, he has freed the knight back there. He does it. He's looking at it. There it is.
I'm not sure about the timing on this. I have to act quick.
Okay, cool. It looks like he's abandoned trying to get this queen and decided to make an attack of his own.
The thing is, so because he wants to trap the queen immediately, he might not see the move queen to c7, which then frees the knight up to move. And I can show this now on the board. That if you play queen c7 and black gets one free move, I'm going to move my knight away from c8 to a7, and then your queen is totally trapped over here on a8.
Oh, so there is a trap.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Don't quit. Oh, he quit already. Damn, the Hessian trap. Who would have known? Well, I think it's still fine, right? I mean, he still has the queen locked in there. I guess, yeah, he has an attack on the knight, which was his goal.
Right. And he thinking about giving his king a check here as well.
I think the problem is, can he stop that pawn?
Which pawn?
The pawn on A4 right now. Can it not just pressure the rook and then throw this all into shambles?
It can. And a5 is probably a useful move, but I also think it's a hard one to necessarily play when you think that your knight's under attack and your king's in the center, but a5 is actually a very good move.
Ludwig Gambit, it is the a5 pawn, has.
You're really good with pawns on that flank over there.
It's the only file I look at for the other pawn. The other pawns don't matter. B through H's are jokes. And he does play it. The Ludwig Gambit coming in 2 games straight.
So are you on a call with Voyboy?
No, come on, man. Look. The Ludwig app needs to spread awareness, and we do it through the Ludwig Gambit. It's called a marketing tactic.
Oh, wait. Did you see that? Okay, that was a huge decision.
He decided to give away both rooks in favor of taking the queen and the knight. Which seems like a positive trade.
Okay, that was crazy because here the queen could have escaped back through a7.
Yeah.
Because the queen is no longer over on the queen side. So he could have escaped with his queen. Instead, he decided to sacrifice the queen for 2 rooks and losing the knight. But his pawn is very strong. I think that's what Voyboy is relying on, is this very strong pawn on b6.
Yeah, that was bold. I think it was worth it. I think he was putting all of his efforts and thoughts into like this queen, and he was making no progress whatsoever on advancing, checkmating the black king. And so, I mean, he has the ability to do that now. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good sacrifice, and now he can go rook up to a8 to pin this. And wow, Voyboy is so quick. I mean, he saw that instantly. This knight,
I don't know how he did that so quickly. I think he saw the plan from the get-go, and now he's in trouble.
Look at the last 5 moves that Voyboy's played. It says 2.5 seconds, 0.1 seconds, 5.6 seconds, 1.1 seconds, 3.8 seconds is how much time he spent in the last 5 moves.
It was very deliberate. I don't, like he sacrificed the queen to capture 2 rooks, and he understood that this would not only lead to losing his queen, but losing his knight, and then possibly losing a pawn, but he'd have a better attack. And now he does have a better attack. Rather than just sitting with his, thumb up his ass waiting for something to happen and maybe get the queen free. So I was sick.
That was awesome.
Voyboy Gambit does pay off.
Hey, those League of Legends guys, right?
Look, they're boring on the on the Rift, but they're nice. There's no rhyme here, but fuck League of Legends is what I want to end my sentence with.
Oh man. So, well, let me ask you something. So you see that black has a queen and white has 2 rooks and a knight. So the 2 rooks and a knight are worth more. But if you had this position from the white side, would you feel confident in your potential to win this game, or do you still think that it's too closed off for white to get anything done just yet?
I mean, he's going to have to push his king, right? Like, he's going to have to, make some advance with his pawns here. And it's such, the pawns haven't done anything yet. They're on the 7th rank. And so they have to move so far to get anything done. I'm even talking about black here. Because I feel like you can't just get this done with your queen by yourself. You can't. So you need to push all your pawns, and you can get this done as white with 2 rooks.
That's actually an exceptional point. because this sounds obvious, but 2 rooks are 2 pieces, so you can actually apply pressure on a square, whereas just a lone queen, that's not enough. So that was a really astute point there. So rook to b1. This knight can come to e4 at some point. These rooks can come up the board along the b file, and just don't blunder a back rank checkmate. There's a rook here, there's a knight here, you'll be okay. But at some point, you should probably consider pushing a pawn so his king has squares to run to. Yeah, and he throws in the knight e4 check, and boxbox has 30 seconds left.
Yeah, boxbox took so much time trying to find the queen trap and never found it, unfortunately, but now is working with, seconds to the minutes that Voyboy has.
Yeah, Voyboy's up 3.5 minutes and has the 2 rooks and the knight for the queen. It looks like he's going to secure the full point. But boxbox is trying. Queen f5, that knight moves. Maybe you lose this pawn on c2. And if you lose that pawn, then the pawn on d4 becomes a pass pawn. And there it goes.
Yeah, he does see all of it.
Oh, he missed it. The king is on a potentially vulnerable diagonal, so he had this move queen c6 before to check the king, and there was a knight on d6 that he would have been able to take.
I see. I do like the pawn push.
You should push it again there. He goes with it, and I think that Voyboy is going to take the pawn.
Yeah, that makes sense. The knight, it's not going to help get a mate, and it's a little... he's mischievous, and he can work around, but I think you're fine without it.
Ideally, you'd be able to stop the pawn, so knight to c3 made sense to try to get your knight to d1, but here we see the rooks versus the queen now. Very different.
Yeah, I know this kind of sucks because then even if he pushes up this pawn, then you can just get a check for Voyboy, which just takes too much time to react to with 27 seconds. It's going to take more than 5. He's going to lose time. And so he can keep throwing on some checks.
Right. And I think he will. Let's listen into Voyboy to see if he feels confident in his chances to convert this position. He's completely quiet, completely focused.
Running mate in 1.
Oh.
He pushes, and I trap the queen and the king, and I win.
It.
I think I have mate, right? That's checkmate.
Wow, he saw it.
Oh my god, dude. Holy
Dang.
shit. Albert's a beast.
And much different
That was
tone
hard.
than the game before.
That was a tough game. What the hell, dude? I was up a piece, and I freaking almost lost my queen. Holy shit.
That's high praise from Voyboy.